minute, burning rubber to the finish. My adrenaline is max, there ain't no prepping on this track. It don't matter which lane you got, I'm still going rounds. And I got you at 60 and now you're headed out of town. We're the kings.
The theme from Discovery Channel's Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings. Did you know they had a theme song?
I did. It's enough to get you fired up.
It is enough to get you fired up.
Cars, that's enough to get you fired up.
How could you hate cars?
Can't.
Patrick does like a little bit of everything. Do you do a little bit of everything at the track? I always see you like making sure that that's prep, right? Making sure the sticky stuff's down.
I do
no
the
prep
opposite
is
of
that.
what these guys want.
Yes, right. You do that, but then everything.
I'm the only full-time employee.
Yeah.
So if there's something the Jerry's need, I do it. If
That's
I
right,
don't know
it's
how to
Jerry
do
and
it,
Jerry.
I screw it up, and then they just, put up with me.
Okay.
It's a pretty good relationship.
That's very good equipment. Anything motorized, tractors and stuff.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah, but does he? Wait, Patrick. Wait, I have
That
taken
was sarcasm.
Yeah, I was just going to say. But do you have a car you race there?
I used to.
Okay.
I got into.
Did you lose it in the divorce?
It's funny you say that. I didn't.
I shouldn't have hit below the belt.
No,
like that.
no.
I just was making a joke. Lighten
There's
things up.
nothing off limits with that man.
It took selling the car to pay off the debt that I put a business into the reef. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just,
it happens.
Yeah, I got too invested in racing, and it took a toll. And so I ended up selling the car to a guy in Greece, in Athens. So we shipped the car over there.
Really? What kind of car was this?
It was a tube chassis. It was like a junior Pro Mod at the time. It wasn't a Pro Modified. It was like a Pro Modified chassis with a slightly smaller engine.
Holy crap. Does that go on over in Athens?
Well, it's all over the world.
No, I understand it's all over the world, but are they doing it at the Coliseum? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Can you race around the Coliseum? How great would that be?
It'd be awesome. What's interesting.
Well, you just have to, right? It's a drag racing car.
Yeah.
We just need a straightaway.
Yeah.
Right down. I think you just tear right through the Coliseum. Boom.
So he snap rolled the thing at 190 in Santa Pod in England. Yeah.
How'd you find out?
I saw him at a trade show not too much later, and he said to me, if I tell you where I broke the car, can you cut me some new pieces, put it together so I can basically staple it back onto this one?
Really?
In a professional
Do you do
manner.
fabrication?
I don't, but I owned a fabrication shop with a partner.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Empire Dragway. I've got an eye for things and an understanding for things, but my hands don't necessarily communicate with my brain so well.
I got you.
So I work well with others.
Yeah. You're like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in terms of like, well, seriously.
Not
like
as smart, but...
but the idea is, right, he was all about, I don't think he built an iPod.
No.
Or an
No,
iPod.
but he had the vision.
Anything, but he had the vision.
I want a bunch of songs in a little box.
Yeah.
Go. Or you're fired.
No, but I mean, but my point is, like, you can see what it is and how it'll work and how it goes together, but you just, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. I had 5 full-time employees, and for a while it was a good role. We had a few world championship cars that came out of there.
Wow.
We built a 3-second Pro Mod way back in 2004. So,
okay.
I mean, that was pretty quick for the day.
What was the speed again?
That went 390s at 190. Would they have been 180? 190 miles an hour?
Yeah.
We built that in 04. Yeah. So we had a lot of fun. We did.
Did you go overseas at all to do any of this?
Just Canada.
Just Canada. Okay. Well, I mean,
that was my
international
experience.
It's international. I'll take it. Put it on the resume. I'll put it on the resume. And then Steve Mills, I've known since radio days, and he works at Castle, but his son is a nut, but builds really great cars.
Well, good enough to where as
get in that microphone, will you, Steve?
Oh, sorry.
Jeez. I know you can't see me with the cameras in the way.
What do I know? What do I know? Pat has been a big influence to Josh and putting him on the path to craftsmanship and things like that.
Josh does nice work. I mean, it's an impressive little thing he's got going on there.
And again, a testament to him and some of the things that he learned, and that when Josh crashed his car a year ago, 188 miles an hour into a wall. And
whoa!
Other than a mild concussion, everything did what it was supposed to do.
Right.
And a lot of that.
What do you have in there? Like a harness and the roll cage?
Oh, the whole smash.
Yeah, it was the car certified to 6 flat, so I mean it had a full funny car cage and all the other different stuff.
When you say different stuff, they don't usually have airbags in there.
Oh,
no. I mean, so just to let people know, right? If you're not familiar with it, there's no airbags.
No
in these
airbag.
things.
No
This
airbag.
is right, but usually you've got the head restraints sometimes,
Correct.
depending on the speed. I know with NASCAR, like race cars and stuff. Helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
A 5.
So he had to hit that pretty hard to get it.
He got all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but he got all
Yeah,
of it.
no, it destroyed the car, but the cage area stayed
God, were you
intact.
standing there, Steve?
No,
watching this?
no, I got a phone call. I don't travel with him. I had to stay in town.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
I was working at Empire.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And,
this was out of town.
Yeah, it was in Ohio. And I got a phone call from a buddy of mine, and it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and he called, and I answered the phone, I go, if you're calling me, and I knew he was there, I go, if you're calling me at this time, something ain't good.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, no. And he goes, Josh had a little incident. I go, how bad? He goes, well, he's okay.
Okay.
I go, and the car, junk. go-
Just to, and I don't want to pry too much, but how much money is in a car like that for people who aren't familiar with
That
drag
car,
race?
if he was to sell that car at that point, probably pissed away $70,000.
Oh,
Yeah, that's,
You got to keep in mind that because Josh does so much of this stuff himself.
It's
it's
It
hard
might
to
be-
put it's hard to quantify
Yeah,
what the money is.
what
yeah.
might be a $250,000 car retail.
Right.
Yeah.
He could throw together because it's his free labor.
Yeah.
For a different price.
Yeah. But even at 70, I mean, that's
Yeah.
still
I
like,
mean-
how many people drive around with a
Correct.
$70,000 car
I mean,
on
and-
the streets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the car that he replaced it with, that he built last year, again, with some of his guidance, we probably could sell to the right person for, what do you think, 125,
I have
150?
no idea what that car would be worth, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
it's state-of-the-art shit.
It's a good piece.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you going to say, Danny?
by the way, like if you ever call somebody, let them know that there's an accident, but the person's alive. Lead with the person's alive.
Well, you got to understand, when you live this life, and you've been doing it, I've been screwing
okay.
around with this stuff for 40 years, okay? It's never if,
Okay.
No,
it's when.
yeah.
And especially, again, the vein of what my son does is this outlaw style stuff. So you're taking, are you familiar with drag racing at all?
Yes.
See a drag- Slicks this big,
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Well, what he does is trying to put about 2,500 horsepower to the ground on a tire that wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're
So when
talking
it-
slicks, you're usually
When shit goes bad,
no tread.
it goes
I mean,
bad.
it's
Yeah.
like, just for
but you just know
Yeah.
that it's going to happen.
Well,
at one point or
and the weird part is when you're at a drag race, and I hadn't watched a whole lot of drag racing, and I'd rather be behind the wheel than actually watching it to tell you, God damn, was that fun. But to see everybody, when somebody loses it and goes either into a wall or into the ground, they start sprinting as soon. Like these guys, it's almost like, you know how like animals sense an earthquake before anybody else?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you're standing there watching it, and all of a sudden you'll see three guys start sprinting. What the fuck? Oh, my God. Like I don't know what they saw, but they saw something. Like, am I right, Patrick?
You do. I mean, these cars move around a little bit. You watch them go down the track. They don't
Yeah.
go straight.
No, they don't.
They
And so
really
you
don't.
got to, like, hold on. I mean, you got to have some strength. It's not power steering.
Oh,
It's
no?
not- no.
It's not-
Well,
no.
Just a little Ford rack and pinion
Yeah.
from back in the day.
Oh, wow.
That's all it is. A
Because
little
remember
manual
Richard
gearbox.
Petty used to rip on, who was it? The Rainbow Warrior there, they called him, Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
He said, back in my day, there's no way he could have driven that car because we didn't have power steering.
No,
Yes.
STP.
Yeah, I know they don't. I mean, here you're just going basically straight, but you need to hold it and do it that. All right. So the purpose you're here, and I don't want to.
No, this is fun. We're good.
Well, I love talking about all this stuff with you guys, but I think this is a huge deal that's coming to Empire Dragway.
Hope you had Geico.
It is.
It is the Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings. I think this year the stakes are higher. There's more money on the line. I was looking at the top 10. I was telling Danny before you guys came in that there are 2 women in the top 10 on the leaderboard right now. And I said, I hope I don't sound misogynistic, but I find that impressive.
Drag racing's had a way more female participation than any
They
other
have.
motorsport out there. And
Okay.
it's really one of those things. You walk in the pits, and I don't want to get cliche, but it's a pretty accepting environment.
Yeah.
It's unique. It's different than a lot of other
I remember
places
calling
you can go.
Steve not long ago, and I hear Steve, and he goes, "Yeah, I got this young lady who's going to drive the truck this year and she's out working on it." I hear her yelling something back to Steve. I go, "That is so freaking cool."
She's an RN, and she's as cute as can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the stereotypes just go out the window, you know?
Yes, they do. And but you've got to have no fear when you're doing
No,
that.
and again, my son's girlfriend, Alyssa, she's got a very fast race car, and they do it. And, one thing about drag racing, it's kind of funny, if just my stupid way of looking at things, all the problems that we have racially and religiously and all that stuff in the world, if anybody ever came to a drag race and sees how people get along in a drag race, they go, how the hell is this possible?
Well, it is weird because it's a competition. It's a competition, but it's people who are like, if you needed something,
everybody.
If somebody had I don't know what, you blow a rod or something on a and somebody's got something
everybody
in their trailer.
Will help you out.
Yeah.
And they'll try to rip your heart out 5 seconds later going down the track. But it's like a melting pot, like you can't even imagine.
Is it the mutual respect that, like, if something goes wrong, we're all in the same boat?
Kind of. Yeah, and pretty much everybody is.
Well, there's a lot of time and money invested in this, and you love it, right? Because you're doing this where somebody else may own a lake house or go on vacation somewhere, or
everybody in those pits is spent to the absolute limit of their income. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they've got a slow car or if they've got the fastest car on the property. They've all taken food off the table to go racing.
Wow.
So I think that has something to do with the commonality, how people get along and they respect each other there. There's not a lot. You'd think there'd be a lot more attitude from the fast guys to the slow guys, and there's not. They just hang out together by the starting line. When they lose, they stand in that area by the guardrail. You know what I'm talking about? And they pop their beers and they hang out, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a bowling league with horsepower.
That's a good analogy.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah.
Empire does such a nice job. And it's tucked away in Leicester.
Yes.
Right. So you just go right down to Geneseo, basically, and make a right, and you're practically there.
It took you a few times to find it, though, if I remember.
No, I got it.
He just didn't want to come.
No,
he just told you got lost.
You know what? You're right. It took me a while. I didn't come down for a long time, but
It's going so fast, he missed the exit.
Once you're there, God, it's like, why did I take so long to enjoy this?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
We've seen Talladega Nights, right? Where all of a sudden Ricky Bobby in the middle of the race gets thrown into the car. Deep down, do you wish that's you sometimes if you're watching a drag race? Like, hey, pick me. But do it. But don't. But okay.
I had never done drag racing. I've done some road courses, that kind of thing.
But if you can.
Our
have the sponsors are going to crap a chicken if we don't have somebody in this car, and then you're like, I'll do it. Oh, did I say that? I didn't mean that. But yeah, I'll do it.
But I mean, I think I remember my buddy and I would try to open up his 98 Olds on the flats and Pine Plains, like 110, 120 on a Thursday morning as we're going to school.
And it took you a mile to get going that fast.
Yeah, and it was really smart too, because I don't know, somebody could have been sending their kid out to get on the school bus, but you're 17 and you're not thinking. This is cool because it's controlled environment. It's where you're supposed to do that. It's cars built for that. It's guys who have more knowledge than maybe you if you're just entering it, and are there basically, I would say almost it's a nurturing environment to go and do it. And when I went down there, I had a freaking blast. And the best was driving your truck, because I got in that Hellcat, and the Hellcat is,
it's a piece.
It's a piece of machinery, but it's got the automatic traction and stuff. You can't turn that shit off.
Nope.
And if you're going to drag race, man, you just want to drop the hammer and go. You don't want to be waiting on automatic traction or whatever. You just want to, and I got to tell you, like, every time, and here's what I think. I have come to believe that, there are people who tell you meditation is a great thing. I will be one of those. I think it's very good to give your mind a rest. But if you're unable to do that, you got to find a sport like this, because when you're going 180, 120, 110, 98, I don't give a shit. You're not thinking about anything else,
a damn thing.
But right there. Yeah. And I swear, I defy you, if you've never done it, to then slow down as you'll hit a certain point and you take your foot off the gas, to not laugh, to almost just lose the adrenaline. I was buzzing for like the next 6 hours after that. I had
easily just taking the tree in a Hyundai.
It was one of my
a good time.
Greatest days. It was so much fun, and I had never done that before, and I can't wait to do it again.
Let me throw something out there. On Friday nights, we have a test and tune program.
Yes,
and we encourage people to bring whatever they're driving.
Yep.
Bring it to the racetrack, stick it on the starting line, take the tree, have the lights come down.
Yep.
Experience that.
Yep.
and make a bunch of passes and
It
as
is.
many as you can make.
Because it's so cool too. Do you guys put on the computer for that?
Yes,
where
we do.
people can see what
absolutely.
the reaction times
Yes, we
are.
do.
And you think your reaction time is great, and you'll see that like 2 seconds is that's a lifetime, right, in this sport because
Yeah, you lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gone.
you
Bye.
lose. Somebody's already down. Yeah, like you're waiting. You go boom, like, and you think you got right on it. You didn't. Somebody's already a quarter mile away. So that's a great thing. I forgot Empire every Friday.
Every Friday.
Friday.
Is it
6 to 10?
starting
6 to 10 starting on the 10th.
Yeah.
on the
So,
10th of May?
No.
10th of May.
Oh,
No.
I thought we were. Anyway,
No, the
empiredragway.com.
17th, whatever the next.
I'm sorry. All right. Okay. I don't mean to get
My bad.
but that's all right.
A bunch of people.
I know where the
lining up
tractor
out there. Well, Pat said.
Oops.
So what does no prep mean exactly?
All right.
That's
Let
a
me just tell you
great
what I do
question.
for a
Yeah.
living, and then we'll just the inverse.
Okay.
I work with some equipment to take the rubber off the track every week because it gets stale and beat up, and then we lay down new rubber every week, and we mix in different compounds and things like that to make it sticky, and so it stays tight to the surface, so when the tire turns on it, it doesn't squirm. No prep is the opposite of that. What they
It's just
want,
like street, just like a street.
they want
okay.
a track that was raced on the week before, let's say.
Okay. So there is some of that. Then
Something on
some
there.
residual.
A little
There.
bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
but nothing new, nothing special. Just a week-old dry racetrack, and that's what they use. And the neat thing about this kind of racing, I was being a prep guy. Obviously, it's something that I'm not as familiar with as I would be if I was a no prep racer. But this is like the most legitimate star power we're going to bring to this property.
Yeah, these are some
They're
big
TV
names.
stars.
Yeah, they
They
are.
really are.
Discovery.
Yeah, they've turned in. Yeah. And
Yeah.
It's funny when they came down and we met with the television people for the first time, and we asked, what there's going to be like 40 of them are supposed to come, and they don't refer to them as racers, even though that's what they are. It's the cast.
Yeah.
Everything is the cast.
Well, they are
of
the
show,
cast,
and they
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and it's all the cast of the show. It's interesting.
There's never been anything like it in this sport's history. And the industry owes an awful lot to this kind of racing and the people that produce it, because there's parts getting sold. Mm-hmm. There's kids that are going to the track for the first time to emulate these guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just the revenue that they're generating industry wide is really impressive.
And it's actually quite brilliant what they did is how they took the illegal aspect of things.
Yeah.
The street racers
Yes.
that were out there.
Yeah, right.
They realized they had a following.
Yeah.
But when they're filming these television shows, they're out in the middle of nowhere, God
are.
knows where, filming on actual roads.
Oh, yeah.
And said, how do we can't bring people here.
No.
No grandstand.
They came up with this no prep kings, go
Yeah.
do these races
Right.
at a sanctioned drag strip. Just don't do anything.
Right.
And they are just ringing the
Well,
bell.
it's a better way. I
know.
mean, like going back to what I was saying, where we would do 110, 120 in my buddy's olds. You never know what's going to pop out around the corner, right? So a lot of these illegal street races happen late at night when there's little traffic.
Yep.
But God forbid you're racing your wife to have a baby, right? And you meet up with headlights coming at you at 110 miles
How about
an
a
hour.
raccoon?
Yeah, no, well,
Anything.
yes, right. Well, that could send you off into a tree, and who knows, or someone's front living room, right? Any number of things. So this is a great way to do it, and it's going to be the first weekend in May, right?
Yes, sir.
So is that May 3rd, 4th?
Third and fourth. Yeah.
The 5th would, just so people know, the 5th would be the rain date.
Yeah.
Okay, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday
Okay.
would be the rain date.
So you can go and you can get your tickets. Now, I know there's different levels of things.
All kinds.
Well, you can get like GA tickets, right?
Yes, yeah,
And that's like $30 a ticket.
$30 on Friday, 40
40
on
on
Saturday.
But
See, I
then-
had to print stuff out to have all this right. Look at you. It's right up there in the head.
Yeah, well, that's just what I do.
Kind of what you do.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do. So, what I
think we got
love,
all this,
what I love is exactly. You think this is game magic. I love the Rockstar VIP.
Yeah.
The Rockstar
ultimate
VIP.
Rockstar
This
VIP.
is
That's
something.
big.
I like this.
Yeah, big.
And the Rockstar VIP, but it's a little pricier. But man, you're going to be there all day.
Yep.
You're going to have your own private bathrooms, access to.
That's the key.
Yes, it is. It is the key.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Like I always told my sons when they were little that the world is your urinal. Don't worry about it. Just go anywhere. But that's not proper when you're older. So, but this is great. I think what is the price on that? I think 189 was
185, 189
Saturday.
Like that,
I think it was more Saturday and less on Friday.
Yeah, 165 on Friday or something.
So,
like
but
that.
that's a great deal. And then kids, if you want to get them to VIP, that was like nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
It's like $5 or something. No,
Yeah,
for kids.
because they do promote a family environment.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know, these guys make.
That's $5 for a children's VIP ticket.
That's what I'm saying. I was like
$5.
$5 for a kid's VIP, but you get the other. And kids love this, and it's fun, and the racers are accessible, right?
Well, that was the next point I was going to bring up. You were there. Remember where we were pitted that day for the day you came out to the track, that wide area? Well, that's where all the cast of the show parks.
Okay.
They all have merchandise trailers.
Sure.
So those guys make a lot of their money on hats, T-shirts, all the merch that they got.
Yeah.
And it's very dependent on that because the race itself on Saturday, it pays the guy that wins it $30,000.
Okay, wow.
That's a good buck.
The guy that comes in second place,
Set of steak knives.
nothing. Winner take all. So you got to roll into this place. You're rolling into wherever they go, Empire, wherever.
Yeah.
With probably $500,000 to $750,000 between your tow rig and all this stuff, and you're on an IFCOM for $30,000 to get something and nothing. If you don't. And you take the chance of wadding all your crap up too. So I mean, because that's the other thing that people buy into this a lot is. There's accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than on a regular race day because
Can't wait to sweep up taillights.
Yeah. I mean we're gonna be running down the track a lot, picking up pieces, I would imagine. You know?
So what time does the racing start on Friday?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yep.
So 5 o'clock Friday, and it goes till probably,
10 o'clock. I think it's
10?
Yeah.
10
but
or
the
11?
nice thing, at our place, we have no curfews.
No, right.
So if there's something goes on, we're under no auspices of stopping. The cops aren't going to show up and go, you got to stop. We can run all night.
Right.
And these people will because obviously they're filming something. So
they want to get it. Yeah.
They move on the next week somewhere else. And if it turns to Sunday or we go all night Saturday, they don't care.
Sheriff rolls in, comes up to the tower. You know why I'm here. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can tell you, but you know why I'm here.
Well, Bill, remember the night you were there with for the Top Fuel show?
Yeah.
Well, the sheriff rolled in like at midnight.
Yeah.
Because they were getting complaints in Geneseo.
Yeah. Well, the Top Fuel cars are a little loud, a little hot. The jet engine was something to watch. That would dry out your track pretty quick.
Well, just because I'm going to circle back because it's the kind of guy that I am.
I'd like you to do that.
These VIP tickets.
Yes.
The ability to see these stars and get up close to them. So you're going to have, obviously somebody in the car.
Right.
And you're going to have other recognizable names and people that you're seeing on television standing, in between the cars, just behind the starter shack. So that means for the folks who have never been there before, when you're in these VIP deals, you're going to be 30 feet away from Lizzie Musey.
Right.
You're going to be 30 feet away from Pat Musey.
Yeah.
It's really.
I think Lizzie's like top 5 right now.
Yeah, she is.
And Kayla Morton's
She's a
like
beast.
number 9 or something.
Do you know her? Do you know her backstory?
I don't know Lizzie's backstory. I know
her father used to race NHRA and IHRA Pro Stock.
Okay.
His father was in what they call. I'm getting deep in the nerd here, but his father was part of the her father was one of the original 200-mile-an-hour IHRA guys in that crew in the Holly Club. So he got into what's called pro street racing, which was the fastest streetcar deal that kind of was the precursor to what they're doing with No Prep.
Yeah.
Kind of a similar crowd, similar vibe, but just different. And he built a lot of motors for Pro Modified. Now he's got his daughter running fast. But Pat's probably one of the most recognizable faces that'll be on the property.
Okay.
So, and these fans the tickets aren't free, but if you like this stuff, you're going to be damn near able to reach out and touch.
Well, I mean, when are you able to see a TV production, right? For a sport you love.
Yeah. Talking about Lizzie Musey, backstory to her at this present moment.
Yeah.
Is it December?
Yeah.
She was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer in November, which they did something with, whatever. Then it turned out later on, liver, I think. So this girl's battling through a lot of stuff right now, but still coming out there and swinging and driving a race car.
They're tough.
Well,
they're from Carteret, New Jersey. They are tough.
Yeah, but I would also think like that goes back to my theory of takes your mind off,
It's therapeutic,
right? It's almost because
You can do it at all. It's
God
therapeutic.
damn right,
Get-
and
get
you
in-
probably feel alive
Yes,
when
yes.
you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel more alive than going
Than
110,
doing that.
120 miles an hour.
Even as a spectator, you walk in the gate
Oh,
at 8 a.m. to get a good seat.
Yeah.
You walk out of there at midnight, you feel like you've only been there for 2 hours. There's so much adrenaline in the air. It's
a
unique
great environment. It's really, really cool. And again, the first weekend in May, I would say lock your tickets down now.
Yeah, and because I was out there
Quick.
surfing around trying to get my dates and times right for this, and some of this stuff is getting close to being sold out.
Yeah, you're gonna. I would say if you're on the fence, get off the fence. Lock your tickets down. You just go to empiredrag.com, correct?
No.
The FOAT.
The FOAT. The FOAT. That's the official ticketing agent.
Okay, because I was finding links through.
Yeah. The
the
FOAT.
FOAT.
That's the official.
How do you spell it?
FOAT.
FOAT. Okay.
Whatever that
No
stands
idea
for.
why.
God,
No, that's all right. It's boat with an F.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody with a lisp saying boat.
Yeah.
Come on my FOAT, folks. Something like that. Just remember that and get the tickets. And it's family fun, family environment. Great way to spend the weekend. First weekend of May. Let's kick it off. And
Let's hope the weather's decent.
Yeah.
There should be some phenomenal people watching.
I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just off the chain
Yes.
people watching.
You get everything at a drag race.
Oh,
I mean,
Pat, I love you're speaking my language now, buddy. Yeah, it's my language.
you want to do, what are you doing at the courthouse? You got to come and do, what are you doing at the drag strip? Because you're going to go, what in the hell's going on here?
Empire Drags, get out there. This is a lot of fun. Discovery Channel, Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings, the first weekend of May. Go to FOAT.com and get your tickets. We're going to take a moment. You guys can stick around. We're going to talk to a guy named Tim Graham. He writes for The Atlantic. Excuse me. The
Used to write for the Buffalo News, didn't
He
he?
used to write for the Buffalo News,
Writes
and
for The
now he
Athletic.
writes for The Athletic. I said Atlantic. I meant Athletic. And we're just going to talk a little Bills and NFL draft and that sort of thing. So we will get to that next.